In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, on March 15th, Calvary Chapel Stone Mountain flipped the off switch on our in-person services, and we're online only for the next 6 weeks. On May 3rd, we reopened using a dimmer switch. We closed abruptly while opening slowly and incrementally. Calvary Stone Mountain was streaming its services online prior to the crisis, and we'll continue to provide a great live stream indefinitely. We also plan to continue our online Sunday school each week, as well as online ministry to high school and middle school. Online ministry has a place in church life. It's a great tool, especially for a community that's sheltering in place. But online streaming is not a permanent substitute to in-person fellowship and worship, either for adults or children. Looking people eye to eye, feeding off the sincerity and enthusiasm of each other's faith. Face-to-face exchanges such as sharing testimonies, unloading burdens, spontaneously prompted prayers. Even the laying on of hands and prayers for the sick. Hey, just the act of physically making my presence count for Christ by coming to the church building on Sunday. All these benefits only take place in person. Computer to computer is not the same as heart to heart. There is a healthy accountability that comes with a weekly reunion of a spiritual family. And to be without it for long is bound to have unhealthy consequences. As a pastor entrusted by our Lord with the care of His church, I'm responsible not only to protect our physical health, but to promote our spiritual health as well. There will always be risks involved in coming to church. And there's no way for us to eliminate the risk of contracting the coronavirus now or 8 weeks from now. We're treating this matter seriously, and we're taking deliberate steps to provide a safe environment. We have reduced our capacity and rearranged our chairs to practice recommended social distancing. We've set up hand sanitizing stations. We've increased the regularity of disinfecting surfaces and restrooms. We've required key volunteers to wear face masks. We've replaced handshakes and hugs with waves and elbow pumps. We've limited the number of people in the restroom at any one time. And we're providing face masks and gloves for all who want to wear them. But can we eliminate any chance of you coming down with COVID-19? The answer is no. The question becomes, at what point does the benefit of attending church make it worth the risk? Hey, a drive through our community would suggest that for many people, a trip to the big box store or taking their kids to the park is an acceptable risk. Why then isn't in-person church worth that same risk? What message do we send if non-essential shopping and recreational play is worth the risk, but not church? For a month and a half, I agreed that the possibility of contracting coronavirus wasn't a risk worth taking to attend in-person church services. But over the past 2 weeks, I've concluded that the risk of the negative spiritual consequences for some folks not meeting in person is greater than the physical health risk of the coronavirus. This is why we are reopening our church. And although we closed with a flip of the switch, we're reopening with a dimmer, slowly and incrementally. On May 3rd, we opened the doors to the least vulnerable adults, including our high schoolers. This constituted about a third of our congregation. But everyone is valued here at Calvary Chapel. Everyone has a place. We want all our members back. So here's our plan to fully open our doors. On Sunday, May 17th, we're inviting back middle schoolers to our 9:30 service. They'll sit with their family and be dismissed to the brook after the music. Pastor Matt will share a lesson. The seating will be arranged to observe social distancing, and all the adults working with the kids will be required to wear a face mask. We realize many of our middle schoolers have younger siblings. We encourage parents to leave the younger children at home with another parent or a trusted caregiver. Both the service and Sunday school will still be provided online, and the younger children will be welcomed back later. As with everyone who attends, you'll need to go to the calvarycsm.com website and reserve a seat for you and your middle schooler. Click on the green Welcome Back button for instructions. We consider middle school a critical age in the development of our children, and we want to bring them back to church first. And parents, this includes any graduated fifth graders, ready or not, they're now middle schoolers. Then on May 31st, we'll be adding to our 9:30 service an 11:15 service and inviting back our grade school children, grades 1st through 5th. We're planning a vacation Bible school style program outside under the pavilion. The children will be organized in small groups and physically distanced from other small groups. But hey, they're children, and it'll be more difficult to keep them physically separated from one another. Being outside will provide extra ventilation, and all the adults working with the children will be required to wear a mask. In the beginning, we plan to offer ministry to our grade school children during the 11:15 service only. Again, you'll need to reserve a seat for you and a place for your children in Sunday school. Go to our calvarycsm.com website, click the green Welcome Back button, and follow instructions. Finally, if the spread of the coronavirus in our county continues to decline, on June 14th, we'll provide nursery and preschool childcare, as well as encourage our senior members to rejoin our in-person worship. At that point, we'll evaluate how many services are needed and what times they'll be held. Reserving a seat will be necessary as long as we're social distancing and our sanctuary seating is at a reduced capacity. This is for your convenience. It's really the only way we can ensure ample seating for everyone who attends. As for small groups such as the After, Free Indeed, Time Out, Men's Prayer Meeting, OFC, and Ladies Bible Study, meetings will resume at the church beginning in June. The church building provides the best social distancing setup, and sanitizing procedures are being followed daily. These groups will begin to meet at the church and transition back into people's homes when it's appropriate. If you attend any of these groups, you'll be contacted by your group leader with details soon. Despite our church's plan, we know that when you and your family return to in-person worship, it'll be a personal decision based on your own assessment of the risk. I've resisted pointing to statistics, since statistics have been used for both closing and opening our society. When the time comes, you'll need to use what data you trust and make as wise a decision as possible. Every family situation is different, and everyone must do what they think is best. I can assure you, your pastor will respect your decision, and hopefully you'll respect the decisions we make. We're all trying to navigate difficult and unfamiliar circumstances. One goal is certain. At some point, we all need to return to church. When the time comes, we want to be safe, but we need to return. We might be using a dimmer switch to get there, but eventually we want to be back to full brightness.